What's up, everyone? It's DB, and today we have one of the greatest episodes I've done in some time now with some really cool new Roblox games for you to check out. This is episode number 21, which means we've covered approximately 200 games now over the past 20 episodes. If you're new to the channel, you can check those videos out by going to the playlist on the top right, or you can find the link in the description below. Head on over to that playlist and catch up. Also, if you haven't done so, you can check out the best games of 2023 video where I covered the best new games we played during 2023. Now, some people in the comments on that video said, DV, aren't we in 2024? Why isn't 2024? Well, we're not done with 2024 yet, so I can't make like a wrap-up video of showing, showcasing all the different games that we covered in 2023 if it's 2024. So you can check it out in the link in the description below. So first up, we have Bake the Baby. Yep, you heard me right. There's a game called Bake the Baby, and yes, you do bake babies in this game. Shout out to Zombie and Cosmic Comets for recommending this one. It sounds very dark, and it kind of is, but it's actually a really fun game. In Bake the Baby, you play as either a chef or a baby. And of course, the chef needs to capture all the babies in the match, bring them back, at least one at a time, to the oven and bake the baby, which essentially eliminates the player from the game. It's pretty messed up. Let's just move on for that. Just hold that thought. Meanwhile, the babies also need to avoid the chef to win the match. The game is a lot like the original Who's Your Daddy game, where you play as a baby and run away from your dad, who keeps trying to put you back into the crib, and you keep escaping. The obvious is this one's kind of dark versus, instead of bringing your baby back to a crib, you're baking a baby. It's just really messed up. But hey, this is Roblox. This is what gets, popular on Roblox. It's got to be crazy and extreme. And that really works on Roblox for some reason. I mean, we got Ohio games, we got all kinds of weird games on Roblox, and they just do really well. The game can get pretty competitive, and yes, expect to be seeing some more videos from me on this one. I need to sweat it in this one. I need to do an actual full-on match and get good at this one for something we're going to announce at some point here. Next up is a hidden gem called Haunt, which is a new Doors-inspired game with its own twist. It's really refreshing to see more games like Doors, because Doors happens to be one of my favorite games on Roblox, hands down. Like, I could spend hours and hours in that game and not really get bored. Like, I don't know how people get bored in that game. I love it. In Haunt, players venture into an underground town. So instead of a hotel, you're basically in like this kind of old underground town. And there's a bunch of mines in there, of course, and you meet a character called Timmy. The character that you end up meeting, or the NPC, ends up traveling with you for each room that you enter, and they're not really like rooms, so don't picture like hotel rooms. It's like an area that you open up. So you open these big doors, and it feels kind of like underground mines with city. It's kind of weird and unique, but it's cool. And much like Doors, you have to loot items throughout, so you're essentially like just looting barrels. You can get items. You have to, of course, avoid monsters or you die. And there's also equipment you can buy at various stages of the game. There's also some bosses that I haven't personally had a chance yet to encounter, since I kind of died early into the game, and the monsters were cool though. It was kind of an honor to get killed by them, I guess, because they're so cool. Like, they were really cool, and I can't wait to see all the different monsters they have in the game. If you're a Doors fan, this game is a must play, and even if you're not, still check it out. It's probably one of the most underrated games in this video. It's just really well made. Next is Timber 2, which is a sequel to the original Timber game that I played a ton of. In this game, you cut down trees, hire workers, buy upgrades, and you're pretty much expanding your island until you max it out. So once you complete everything, then you can rebirth. And there's also tons of areas you can travel to and explore with your boat once you unlock the docks. This version seems a lot more advanced though than the original, where you got like lots of new boats. You have like mining areas you can do. There's like underwater areas you can explore for treasure, and so much more. So if you're a fan of the original like I was, definitely check this one out. Up next, we have a unique PvE, which is player versus enemy, in case you don't know what that means. And it's a puzzle game called Darkness Mystery. In Darkness Mystery, everyone is equipped with a wand and a special ability which can be upgraded via daily gifts, or of course you can spend Robux and buy new ones. Your goal is to progress through various rooms, and you got to kill these enemies with your wand. Then you got to complete some puzzles in each room until you can ultimately reach and defeat the various bosses. The game has a unique feel and style of its own, with various difficulties you can choose from. So if you want to go easy, hard mode, there's also a new nightmare mode in there. You can also go solo if you want, if you just feel like you can handle it yourself, or you can go with others and have them help you complete the game. It's a really cool game if you're into creepy monster style games. Like, there's some really creepy monsters in here. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Next is Blade Tower Defense, which is a blade ball inspired tower defense game that is highly polished. And I say polished, I didn't expect it to be polished. I felt like it was just going to be like a pretty cheap looking game, and no, like the models are good, the mechanics feel good, the visuals look good. It just feels like it's pretty well made. I was also surprised this game could actually exist considering it's not an official blade ball game, but such as Roblox with games that you could just make with slight adjustments and not get it taken down. As with many tower defense games, you start with a single tower, and of course you can unlock more towers by summoning them or hatching them. I guess we'll call them hatchet. Right now you can get an executioner, a ninja, a Borg, Crypt, and Raven, and of course it's going to rotate out by the time you probably watch this video. But in any case, if you're looking for a well-polished tower defense game to play for a change, check this one out. Now, continuing on with the tower defense theme here, we have another TD game called Fruit Tower Defense, which is, of course, inspired by the One Piece anime series. Your starter tower is Luffy, as it should be, who packs a decent punch for a starter power. You don't really need a whole lot, beyond just one for a while. And of course, you can summon more towers, so you get some variety, including Gold Ruler, there's Nani, and along with many others, which, of course, it resets and rotates out new towers within a certain period of time. You can also unlock new towers from completing quests and travel to familiar One Piece themed maps like the Marine Base, where you gotta take down those pesky Marines. If you want to check out Fruit Tower Defense or any of these others, you can do so by checking out the links in the description below. Next up, we have a few shooters, starting with Valor. Valor is a well-polished Call of Duty zombies-inspired game where, like many other zombie shooter games, you gotta eliminate waves of zombies. Big surprise, right? Like, everyone by now probably has played a game like this. During each wave, you of course need to upgrade your weapons. You gotta help, your downed teammates in case they got killed or downed by a zombie. You can revive them. And the game's shooting mechanics just feels solid. The weapon variety is great. The zombie animations and movement is well made. And overall, the game just feels like it was intended for Steam or console, but not Roblox. It just looks like it has Roblox characters, but it's just that polished. It's really well done. So if you're a shooter fan, this one's a must play. Go check it out. And next we have our other new shooter called Gelbird, which is a refreshing take on Rainbow Six Siege, at least the mode I played. The game is fast-paced, it's simple in many ways. Combat feels familiar, kind of feels like Phantom Forces meets Arsenal at times. So it's pretty easy for you to get into because if you played those games before, you should just be able to jump in and win. In the game mode I played, we did attack and defend, which is pretty much Counter-Strike meets Rainbow Six Siege, where you take turns defending and attacking. I didn't play any of the other modes, but I did see some other modes in there. You can also upgrade and customize your weapons and character using your earnings. The game is apparently a revamped and remastered version of the original game, which I never had a chance to play, so I didn't even know it was a remaster. It just looked new to me. So jump in and check it out. Next is a new Avatar Airbender inspired game called Rowbending Online. In the game, you're going to train to hone in your abilities and learn new techniques as an airbender. Personally, I'm not all that familiar with the Avatar series, unless we're talking about those blue puppet alien creatures living on the planet Pandora. Then that's an entirely different story. I know a lot about that one. But this game looks and feels great. I haven't had a chance to spend a lot of time in it, but it was worthy of including, especially for all you Avatar fans out there who will probably like this one. And finally, we have a new Bubblegum Simulator inspired game called Bubblegum Haven, which is literally like an updated version of Bubblegum Sim. You have your familiar BGS style pets, you got your floating islands that you need to jump on. There's clicking to blow bubbles mechanics, so you blow your bubbles from clicking. You go and sell those bubbles for currency, and you go to hatch and such. It's pretty much the same. Like, it feels like someone just kind of gave Bubblegum Sim a facelift and started over. But I think it's going to be challenging for them because Pet Sim 99 has really perfected this whole system of pet games. What I loved about BGS is secret pets were a true find. Like, you felt really good when you hatched one of those. There was also the demand of the trading economy, so I don't know if this is going to have a chance to break through the popularity of Pet Sim 99, considering the game really knocked it out of the park with all these new game mechanics. They simplified things, it just felt fresh. So I think Rebel Studios, the makers of the original BGS, could come out with something amazing still. But for now, if you miss BGS and want something new, you can check out Bubblegum Haven. Now, we had so many people like suggest games, and I haven't had a chance yet to go through them all. Honestly, this was much of my own research. So I kind of have a long list for next week. So if you have new games you want me to check out, definitely comment them below. I'll look at them. I also didn't have a chance to look at the previous videos comments, so I'm going to go through those for next week's video, and then we should have some more shout outs. So like I said, if you have a new game you want me to check out, definitely comment below with the game name. And if I use any of your suggestions, I will give you a shout out. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this series, please do me a solid, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next vid. Happy grinding. Peace.